Wake up.
I'm awake.
Are you ready for your Wednesday dose of the finest analysis of all the local and international stories coming from the sports scene? Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the locker room right here on Smooth 98.1, where we love music and we love life. As always, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:15. And this is what we get to on Smooth Breakfast. And my name is Oluwaseun Olusegun. You know I'm not a sport pundit. I'm not the analyst. And I always have the resident analyzing officer joining us virtually on some days and in studio on other days. But today it's virtual. You can be a part of it by going to YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. So welcome with me, the one who puts her finger on every game, every analysis, every statistics, every data, making sure that you have the best view, the bird's eye picture of what's going on down here. She wakes up, stays up early so that you don't have to do that and comes to serve it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Tega Supreme.
Drum roll, drum roll. Did you just call me resident analyzing officer? Sounds like something in a lab. But good morning, everybody. Hope you've had a good week so far. Today is Wednesday, and my goodness, what are we talking about? We're talking about the US Open. Last night, Coco Golf almost gave me a heart attack. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the league. Some people are now finding themselves trying to do things that they said they will not do last week. We'll talk about all the transfers that could happen, should happen, and would happen today. We'll also talk about some football because shockingly, the Carabao Cup is already on, and there is a club that is playing today that I think even by now their enemies are praying for them to win. All of that and more coming up inside the locker room this morning. But before we do any talking, Oluwaseun, how can we be a part of the locker room today?
Yes, you can be a part of it in many ways. First of all, you can send your messages to WhatsApp 0911 999 0981. Again, 0911 999 0981. You can also join us on YouTube and be like Padre Pew. And that is at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. At Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Just go to the live chat option, drop your message, whatever you have in your mind, and we'll get to it later. All right, let's settle in and get started with the one about Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez will race for the new Cadillac Formula One team next year.
All right, in case you missed the news, F1 has added a new constructor to their lineup for 2026. And the new constructor is, drumroll, Cadillac. So Cadillac has come on the grid and they brought in two drivers. Now, I remember Sergio Perez, after he lost his seat with Red Bull, after suffering, the guy suffered so much trying to drive that car. I wanted to call it a different name, but I could be sued. So let me call it car because I don't have money. But he suffered so much trying to drive that car and couldn't. And then he was moved from the seat. So he didn't drive all through this year because he had no seat. Bottas is also a reserve driver at Mercedes. Also left his seat. They don't have a constructor. Both drivers have got so fortunate now because there's a new constructor in town and they decided to go after these experienced guys to test the waters with them. So Perez and Bottas have received redemption and they'll be back to driving for Cadillac in 2026. On the other hand, people were talking about Cadillac hiring Christian Horner as, the manager of the team because remember, Red Bull has fired him. And so now he's just sitting at home, twiddling his thumbs. And people were talking about it that if Cadillac really wants to make an impact, they'll pick somebody with experience in the sport. And since Christian Horner is available, there'll be nobody else but him to pick. Well, Cadillac have come out to say, we don't know about tomorrow, but today we are not talking to Christian Horner. Right now, as I speak to you, we are not talking to Christian Horner. So we wait to see how that pans out, because so far they are denying any connections, any gist, any rumors linking them with Christian Horner for the day. We don't know what tomorrow brings. We'll wait to see it. But so far, redemption for Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. Will there be redemption for Christian Horner? We wait to find out.
No one knows tomorrow. All right,
I'm
moving on.
telling you.
Coco, Golf is mentally exhausted. Home favorite Coco Golf came through a stern examination of her troublesome serve to beat Australia's Agila in our competitive US Open first round match.
All right, so huge one. Remember, Madison Keys crashed out in the first round, losing to Saraswat. Remember, Madison Keys won the first Grand Slam of the year. So she crashed out, losing to Saraswat of Mexico. Well, Coco Gauff came on court against Ayla Tomljanovic. Now, because Tomljanovic has had several injuries and surgeries, she has dropped to world number 74. Is it 74 or 78? But she's down there. However, don't confuse her ranking with the quality of her play, because they are two completely different things. And sometimes when people get injuries and all of that, they drop so low that top ranked players that are supposed to be playing low ranked players now get to play them. So this was a tough draw, a very tough round one draw for Coco Gauff, and it had to be Alia. And so Alia gets on court. If you remember anything about Alia, remember that lady that beat Serena Williams at the US Open with the crowd cheering for Serena Williams. The lady that, I think she had only 5 people in her box. Those were the only 5 people cheering her. The rest of the entourage was cheering for Serena Williams. This is the same Alia. And so she came on court against world number 3, Coco Gauff. And Coco Gauff did her thing in the first set, took the first set. Then the second set, Coco Gauff actually broke Alia and went up 4-2 in the set, only for Alia to break back, then dragged the set all the way to a tiebreaker, and then beat Coco Gauff senselessly in that tiebreaker. It was a beatdown in the tiebreaker. And then they got to the third set, and it was a battle, because Coco Gauff actually broke Alia earlier. Then Alia broke back, and just the match just seemed to look like it was going to go on forever before Coco Gauff eventually won it. So really tough first round match, because when you're starting a tournament, you want to kind of ease into it and then build up momentum. They didn't give Coco Gauff that luxury. They're like, you want to win US Open, Abi? Come and collect. So they gave her earlier. So it was a tough one, but she was able to come through. Also, Iga Swiatek came through, but that was very easy. Easy peasy. She came through that one without any stress. But so far in the WTA, it's been Kudermetova losing, Madison Keys losing. I think those are the only top players that have lost so far. Everybody else is kind of through to round 2. So we wait to see how that pans out for the women. But yes, the Wild Wild West have not really gotten wild, apart from Madison Keys. But we wait to see how it happens today.
I guess I've given Ali a new name then, Agila. All right.
Moving on. Sorry. she's Australian, but she's of Greek. Is she Greek or Ukrainian? But she's of European descent. All right. So Alia Tomljanovic, she was able to come through that one. Oh, I forgot to mention Naomi Osaka now, because we don't really talk about Naomi Osaka's tennis. We now talk about her fashion. Her dress was beautiful, and then she came in with shuku. Funkified shuku, but yes, shuku nonetheless. So it was beautiful to see. Her outfit choice, spectacular. Her hair, beautiful. Yeah.
Feels like she took the baton from Serena in terms of the fashion.
Exactly, yeah, and that's how it is to be. Grand Slam was really not just about tennis; it was also about the fashion. But some tennis players and some tennis outfits are dropping the ball. But I'm glad for Naomi Osaka. She never lets them drop the ball.
Still serving some now. Let's talk about World number one Yannick Sinner dropping only 4 games in a dominant straight set win over Vít Kopriva in the first round of the US Open.
This was not even fit to be called a match. 6-1, 6-1, 6-2. It was the easiest draw I've seen. And so again, sometimes I don't like to draw comparisons, but you have no option than to draw comparisons. Carlos Alcaraz had his first round match against Riley Opelka. If you know Riley Opelka, the giant that serves one of the biggest serves on tour, that is who Carlos Alcaraz started up against. And when you start with tough ones, it kind of takes your energy, it kind of saps your fuel. It's a good test to start tough in the first round, but it saps your energy. However, for Yannick Sinner, he started with. I don't think even if he wants to train, he will take this guy as his training partner because you want to train with a challenge. But that's how easy this match was. I think after he played this one, he still went to play some more tennis because this wasn't a test at all. So 6-1, 6-1, 6-2, easy peasy, like very too easy. But he's through to the next round. So I think ultimately, like I said, he would have tried to get on court again after this match because this was poor. On the men's side, what else happened? Oh, Stefanos Tsitsipas finally won a match. We're also excited because at this point in time, even his enemies are wishing that he wins matches. So he won a match and he's through to the next round. So what else happened? Oh, apart from Daniel Medvedev, who lost in the first round with all the drama, it seems to be going fairly normal for everybody else because Djokovic is through to the next round, Tsitsipas is through to the next round, Yannick Sinner is through to the next round. Francis Tiafoe also through to the next round. So no real drama in round one. Can there be some drama in round two, please? Give us something to talk about. All right, US Open, give us something.
Be careful what you wish for.
I'll be wishing for it.
Moving over to some football talks now. Liverpool manager Anne Slot praised his players' mental fortitude after their 3-2 victory at Newcastle on Monday, saying his team had shown the kind of mentality needed to get results in difficult places.
Look, he's right. His team has shown the mentality needed to get results. However, my goodness, Newcastle were man down. For most from the first half, and they looked like they were 2 men up, especially in that second half. It was the most wicked thing. So you have to remember they were a man down and they were without their most lethal striker, Isak, who is still on strike. And they were able to show this to Liverpool. At this point in time, you have to say maybe you too you have a problem. It's not just difficult opposition, you have a problem. But it was a tough one. So Newcastle coming to this game, and it was highly anticipated for a reason. It's Newcastle, the banana peel fixture against defending champion Liverpool, who people have already started to question their credentials about defending their title. And it looked tough. They were pressing, in fact, they were pressing Liverpool like a gigi bread, let me not lie. Uh, it was wave after wave of attack, and they're just testing that Liverpool defense, only for Liverpool to go against the run of play and score the first goal. Tough for tough for Newcastle. And so it made the match a little more interesting because after Liverpool scored the goal, Newcastle thought they could come back, and then they went 2 goals down and 1 man down, with Aaron Gordon giving away that red card. He's apologized for it because it was a silly tackle. He kind of stepped on Virgil van Dijk with his studs right from the middle of his calf to almost the back of his ankle. So there was no way. Anyhow you look at it, on any day of the week, even on Christmas, they will call it a red card. All right. So that was a red card. They went 1 man down, and it looked like they were over and out. Then something switched and they just started fighting back. So Bruno got the first goal. Then their striker, who was forgotten on the bench, got the second goal. Um, and then it looked like at some point they now started pushing for a winner. And I think that's where the mistake was. Because you're 1 man down and you're pushing for the winner with every single player. So by the time the ball came over to their end, uh, Liverpool had one man over, and it was a 16-year-old of Nigerian descent. So you know how Nigerians are everywhere in the world. This 16-year-old boy was the one left over, and he just buried that ball in the back of the net. Now you have to applaud it for, first of all, it was a big stage. It was a big match, considering the fact that Liverpool had led by 2 goals to nil, and they were now 2-2 in the match. So it was a big moment, and this 16-year-old was able to step in. I don't think he has started to play for England national team yet. So if the NFF knows his family house, it's time to pay a visit. No, at this point in time, we have to call all Nigerians back. There's no need for us to be saying, let's build our league. Mm-mm. We will call Nigerians from wherever Nigerians are available. If they are international, we'll bring them back. If they are local, we'll bring them in. As long as they can do good, let's just get as many people into the camp as possible and take it from there, all right? But yes, it was a tough one. Liverpool came out of it with 3 points, but so far, they haven't been convincing. This weekend is another question that they will answer, but we'll talk about this weekend later on in the show.
We'll take a breather now to come back so that we can discuss some more right here on The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
Sorry, the flu has come back again, so my nose is acting up. If you can hear it.
I can hear you well, but that's okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do. What do you do for this kind of flu that comes and goes? It comes and goes.
You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
It's a tough one because I don't think vitamin C is the only thing. Maybe a lifestyle change will help. Well, at least sleeping before 3 because Coco kept me up till, when did that her game finish? Around 3-ish, past 3. Yeah.
Man, I love my sleep too much to stay up, but then again, I guess it's part of work for you.
I don't, that's what I tell myself. I'm just telling you lies. I like it normally. That's why I'm awake. It's not because it's work, it's because I like sports so much.
Oh, true. What?
I don't think it's work. Because there's work and then there's this. This is my excuse. My excuse for my staying awake is that it's work. But the ultimate truth is I actually like it. Because when I just saw that Coco was playing at midnight, I was like, in the night session, I was like, I'm
stay up
staying
for
awake.
this one.
Yeah, I was like, well, it was Coco and Naomi at the same time. It's just that Naomi's match finished faster. I was like, I will miss them. How? No, it's not happening. But if there were no big name player playing in the night session, I may just have gone to bed a little earlier.
I'm looking at LK Aderoba's message. It's Gravenberch, right? Before I give him another name.
Gravenberch.
Gravenberch. Oh God, Lord help me. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge football fan. Gravenberch.
Go away, Jerry.
Sorry.
So yeah, we're talking. So we'll see how we can talk sports. You have to go and play.
Is that?
I was trying to harass somebody else, not you.
Oh, okay.
Terms and conditions apply.
So 2 messages from YouTube, 2 messages from.
No. Do one each. Oh God, this note is really bad. I need a doctor in the house to tell me what to do. Maybe I should have some fried chicken, maybe to help.
Ayo from Festac says, let Tega go and take her go. Everything doing how we'll go fast. But
except
Ayo, you have to specify what kind of agbo, because we have agbo jedi, we have agbo everything.
But you see, that agbo, I also hear that kidneys are very expensive.
There is that. So go back.
Okay, we're back. All right.
Love music, love life. We are back inside of the locker room. Not like we left anyways, but you're welcome to join us to have so much fun and tell us what's on your mind that's touching the match is being played, be it the one where services are made or football is kicked. And that is 0911-999-0981. That's the WhatsApp message. Sorry, the WhatsApp line 0911-999-0981. And we're live on YouTube as well at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. At Smooth 981 FM Lagos. So we'll take one message from YouTube, one message from WhatsApp, we'll get back to the story, and then take everything at the end. Patrick Pio says, let's be honest, Liverpool definitely not ready to defend the title. You go 2 up with your opponent, a man down, without their main man on the pitch, and you play that way? What rubbish. I can feel it.
It's football now.
Taya says, these tennis players are winning and forming confidence in front of camera. It is well. Beware of Newcastle this season. Isak or not, chaos. Golden was channeling his inner Everton, but ref, we've not gotten there now. Okay, let me just go on. Beware of Newcastle this season. Isak or not, chaos. Golden was channeling his inner Everton, but ref said, come and be going. Tega, which transfer excites you and why? I was impressed by Eze to Arsenal, and I'm not even a fan. So, over to you.
Again, I wasn't impressed by Eze too. No, let me not put it that way. For his family members will think that I'm the one sent from the village to him. I like the fact that Eze moved to to the bigger club in England. But like I said, Arsenal is a bit thick around the middle, so there's already so many midfielders. My question is, how often would he play? And hopefully, Mikel Arteta will not strangle his creativity out of him, because sometimes he has a tendency to be like Pep Guardiola in that aspect. All right. I think the one that excites me so much is Ekitike, because really nobody. I remember when they were bouncing me off. Newcastle said they wanted him. I've forgotten, there were like 3 clubs that wanted him, and then Liverpool ultimately got him because Newcastle were making shakara with Isak. Bottom line, they got him, and now he scores every game he plays, and that should be his theme. That should be his tagline. Ekitike scores every game he plays, and that's what he's been doing. So that transfer is exciting, because there are too many people waiting for him to fail, and now the boy is not failing. So for me, that's the exciting one. All right, let's take the next story.
Manchester United not ready to play in Europe. This is coming from none other than Amorim, who said that they need more time to build a solid base to be competitive in the Champions League. Ooh.
Okay, I would say this, because he qualified his Europe comments by saying Champions League. I can free him, but to come out and say something like that, Manchester United is not ready to play in Europe when they played in the final of the Europa last season, is ridiculous. You are the manager that took them to the Europa final last season, and you're not saying they're not ready to play in Europe. But I like the fact that he eventually qualified it by saying they're not ready to play in the Champions League. All right, but hopefully they're ready to play tonight, because they play against Grimsby in the Carabao Cup. And he was, talking about a lot of things, and talking about how they are not playing in Champions League was a blessing in Europe at all. Was a blessing in disguise. So because of all the struggles they're having, they're playing poorly, they don't get points. They're playing brilliantly, they don't get points. It's like anything, regardless of what they do, they're cursed nonetheless. So he's saying they need to just focus on trying to get back into the league, and they don't have that European distraction. But they still have the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and they start their Carabao Cup battle today, like I said, against Grimsby. So let's see how it works out for them. Didn't work out well for West Ham, losing to Wolves yesterday. Also didn't work out well for newly promoted Leeds United, losing to Sheffield United yesterday. So let's see if it'll work out for Manchester United, because the Carabao Cup is one of those competitions where you see ridiculous upsets. And then they play on the Wednesday night. So let's see how it works out for them. If they finally get their first win for the season in this match, at least beat one opponent, regardless of who the opponent is. Just beat one person. So let's see if they can do that tonight.
Let's see, fingers crossed. And now let's talk about the powerful Inter thrash Torino in Serie A opener. That's Inter Milan beginning their bid to reclaim the title with that thrashing, in fact, hammering 5-0.
Yes, 5-0. So and they scored a lot more than Napoli, who are defending the title. But it was good to see Inter Milan being fluid and brilliant again. Like last season, they were close to winning the Scudetto before they started bouncing it back and forth with Napoli, and eventually having that horrible 2 weeks. It was in that 2 weeks that everything went alright for them. Where they uh, dropped out, they dropped points in the Scudetto, and they struggled in the Super Cup, and then they, sorry, in the Italian Cup, and then they also dropped out in the Champions League. So they had that horrible 2 weeks of poor results. That's what caused all the drama. But all in all, they started this season renewed with a new coach, Christian Kivu, because their other coach has gone to collect his pension plan. He was trying to win Champions League. They didn't let him win it. So he decided to go to Saudi to collect his pension plan. So Christian Kivu has taken over, and the team is playing brilliantly. Scoring goals are plenty, but this is just week one. Let's see if they can carry the momentum up to the end this season, because last season they weren't able to. But brilliant result by them. Brilliant result.
Of signings and transfer, former Real Madrid right-back Lucas Vazquez has joined Bayer Leverkusen until 2027. This was announced by the club.
Yes. So Lucas Vazquez, Real Madrid did the send-off, but basically they were just kicking them out. I think I remember when they did the send-off, they did send-off for himself, Luka Modric, and Carlo Ancelotti. Modric was at AC Milan this weekend, and now Lucas Vazquez has moved to Leverkusen. Good signing for Leverkusen. Brilliant that they will get him. He's not in the top form, but he's also in a league where pace is not necessarily the issue. So he'll be able to find his way back and fit in. The question is, how can Leverkusen get back to that team under Xabi Alonso that went on to win the league? Will they be able to get back? I don't know if the answer is yes, but I think that they can play brilliantly, because I've seen the players that have come in, and I also pray that they play our brother Boniface. Because after after missing out on that medical test, again, I'm hearing rumors that he didn't necessarily fail the medical test, as per fail it. It's just that when they saw the amount of work that has gone in to his knee injuries, they didn't want to risk it.
Oh, I see.
So when they saw his knee injury history, they decided they were not going to risk it. So it's not necessarily a failure per se, more like they were cautious about taking him after his history. So if Leverkusen can play him, it will get them some goals. So let's see how it works out for them the rest of the season.
Let's see how it works then. All right, because we have so many messages, let's begin to take them, right? Or do we talk about West Ham?
Well, we've already mentioned West Ham, so let's take the messages.
Aha, let's get right into it. Starting with the YouTube fam. LK Adirogba says, I'm convinced Gravenbach, you said, should have gotten a red card as well. However,
I agree. No, but there's some players that get away with certain tackles. So, like for example, like Gordon is a forward, and so when he makes certain tackles, it's obvious. But there are some players that play in midfield. They will tackle wicked tackles like this, like Caicedo, Gravenbach, Rodri, and they get away with it. I think it's because of the position they play. So most referees will be used to them making those tackles as opposed to other people. But let's take that message.
However, max of a title winning team is when you win, even if you don't play well. Liverpool are still EPL favorites. And this person said Bruno Fernandes should have been sold. He's not played to his position and only hurts the team. Uchenna Owokoye says, United needs to start winning games. Sad to see we can't score goals once again. Hopefully, we'll sell some of the baggage holding the team down. Amorim, step up your game. Players, be cool. Oh, I read that with English. Players, be cool, do the same. Okay. On WhatsApp, AY says Liverpool were very lucky to escape with a win and not a draw against Newcastle. Their defense has been very shaky. Stan says, Isak Sef, I don't know what they find. This Newcastle is good, I beg. Imagine they're playing in Champions League also. They should just sell him ASAP before the transfer window closes. 130 million is good money. They should just grab and forget the ingrate. And Nathan Njoku from Kirikiri Town says, we'll beat Arsenal. That one not be problem. It is the smaller teams that are, because it is like we don't know how to break down teams who sit back and defend while waiting for counter attacks. Isak
Have
and
you met Arsenal? Because they have every 2 market days they are buying defenders now. If you are talking of sitting back, Lord of the Haram may just show up this weekend against Liverpool. So Nathan, be humble.
And he also said, Tega, I beg. No. It is too early in the season for me to start having this kind of heartburn. I have said, for me, the UCL is a priority, and I think I'm just going to focus on that and take my mind off the EPL. 2 games, 4 goals conceded, plus horrific defending, but Ekite making me proud. Oh, okay. Emeka says, I agree with Tega on the NFF calling Chima. However, after recently seeing how Peter Rufai and other late legends have been treated after their passing, who would be proud to pay for Nigeria? Gamble Boy says,
I have a say on that thing about legends passing. First of all, they did support his family, all right? But secondly, we also have to say that we cannot carry everybody. There are many people that have served Nigeria. There's soldiers, there's all. Most footballers have already played and been paid and been celebrated. All right. So when we start saying this thing like abandoned family, I wonder what exactly you mean, because the NFF and some well-meaning administrators in Nigerian sports actually supported and donated to Peter Rufai's family. Okay. And then they have all these things that they do. Even how many times in Europe do you hear that somebody died? They say, "Oh, this person carried the burial." No, we need to start building structures. I think the problem with Nigeria is because we have no structure. Everything we just ask the government for everything. They don't do it in Sena climbs, so. And since we are copying Sena climbs, let's copy them everywhere. Okay. All
is
right.
the
Let's
signal
finish the
climbs for me?
messages.
Gamble Boy says, Amorim sack will be after they lose to Grimsby. And Taya says, Inter Milan with Initial Gragra, they should calm down. Manchester United isn't prepared to play football because they are trying to prove a point, not earn one. Sesko, Onana's replacement and co. Over to you. What do you have for me in terms of 90 minutes kits? AC Milan was worried about Boniface's past and not his future. You're done.
All right. On that note, I just want to I just want to say that we really need to keep that. So at this point in time, let's talk about it. Who will get fired first? Potter of West Ham or Ruben Amorim of Manchester United? We'll take the answer for that poll on Friday. Till then, we want to thank you for sending your messages via WhatsApp. Thank you for streaming on YouTube, and thank you for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to the locker room. Till we come your way again on Friday.
Yes,
Yeah.
Friday.
Have a fantastic week.
Everything she said. Smooth Breakfast continues on Smooth 98.1. Oh boy, thank you. See you on Friday.